Sometimes I feel like I'm not getting anywhere. Sometimes I feel like I'm just going around in a big ass circle. And it doesn't matter how hard I try to get out of that circle, I always wind up right in the same spot that I've been before. At first, I was mad about that. Then I was frustrated. Then I was motivated to change, take action, force my way out of the cycle. But I'm coming more and more to this point where it's just, there's nothing to do but surrender. And there's a real peace in that. There's actually a real peace which you can only understand if you've experienced it in inevitability, in knowing that you can't change your destiny, that it's set. It allows me to stop trying so hard to control and just to go with what life is presenting right now. And what life has presented me with right now is a family. I was listening to a treatise on sexual alchemy as I did my carpentry work today. And one of the things that Samael Aun-Weor was saying was that you can't expect to break through into the supreme consciousness if you can't first be a good householder. And this is what traditionally Hindus follow. First, they would take care of their worldly affairs, take care of their household, raise children, fulfill their marital duties. And then once the children had grown up and they'd taken care of the household, they would then go out into the forest to seek nirvana, to seek enlightenment, to do their deep spiritual work. And what I'm being shown right now is that in order for me to get to the next level in my own consciousness, in my own being, the next level of abundance, influence, power, I need to take care of my foundations, my house, my home. This is the gift of sexual alchemy, the perfect matrimony. This is the gift of woman. And that is that she grounds you into the practical, mundane, everyday dealing with kids, dealing with lunches, getting ready for school, washing the dishes, making sure the kids get put to bed on time. All this mundane shit, which is actually fundamental, foundational to you being able to take a leap into a higher level. Because if you're with a woman, it's like all of a sudden the whole physical world appears. Up until that point when you dive in with a woman, you're essentially free to live in a very abstract reality of your own mental creation. You can kind of afford to be vague and non-specific, and you can afford to flit around in life. But the moment you lock in with a woman, you don't have that choice anymore. You now have to lock into your own path. And I know many of you are experiencing this as you step into relationship. You're realizing that you have to get your shit together. And you're finding that you're able to get your shit together in a way that you never could before. Like this new layer of intelligence, awareness comes online. You can willpower all you want. I tried willpowering my way into success for so long. But it seems like my destiny had other plans. But the moment you lock in, your biology just switches on. It's like these different genes just come online. They just activate. It's like, oh, woman, family, provider, security, manifest resources, level up, raise testosterone. This is the thing. This is the thing I'm realizing. It's like I'm on autopilot in a new way. It's like I'm on autopilot in a good way. Kind of like when you start fasting. I've started intermittent fasting now. I'm on my cut. I've done enough bulking. Now I'm cutting down. Eliminating all the fat. Bringing it back to just lean, mean muscle. And when you fast, your brain starts to go on autopilot. It starts to clean up all of the loose ends. All of the unfinished loops start to get closed. Automatically. Everything just starts to get settled into its proper place. And this is what I'm finding when I'm practicing SR while being married. Bringing that into the bedroom, practicing sexual alchemy, never releasing for anything. I was having a whole lot of wet dreams for a period back there because I was forcing myself to eat so much. I know. I could kind of tell that's what was happening at the time, but I just had to keep bulking. I was obsessed. I'm still obsessed. Obsessed with crafting a powerful body, an imposing body, a strong, grounded, masculine body. But now that I've started the fasting, intermittent fasting, eating within let's be real, it's like an 8-hour window to start off with. I'm sure I'll reduce that over time, but that's what I'm working with right now. But the fasting puts you into autopilot in a positive way. The sexual alchemy seems to put you into autopilot because your biology is like, okay, I'm fucking the woman, We are having coitus, but the seed is not being released. So what starts to happen? The body is saying, the seed isn't being released. We need to produce more seed. We need to produce more semen so we can ramp up the likelihood that we can fertilize a woman, pass on the DNA. But you keep having intercourse, you keep initiating the process of reproduction, but the external reproduction never happens. So now the body's got all of this power just brewing in the balls, just brewing. And now it's like, we need to put this power somewhere because it's not going out. This is like normal SR, but it seems to be drastically amplified in the presence of sex without release. So now the power is building up so strong, it can only go up. That's the only direction it can go. So it starts traveling up the two pathways. Not the literal semen, the literal biological essence, the semen is reabsorbed, but the power, the potency, the essence itself starts traveling up the Ida and the Pingala through sexual alchemy. And you are just put on the path of destiny. You can't fight your way out. It's like you're on the path now. You're doing this practice, practicing the sexual alchemy, and now God's taking control. Sorry, like, the days of the ego are limited, my friend, once you start doing this practice. It's like my power of choice it's evaporating before my eyes. And now I just know I have to do this. I just have to talk about this. There's nothing else for me to talk about. I've tried all the other pathways, at least in my estimation. I'm the kind of person who goes all out, whatever it is I'm doing. And I've tested and tried all these different spiritual pathways, all these different pathways of success in this world. And it all led me to this: sexual alchemy. And I'm resonating with this more than anything that I've ever resonated with. I know that this is the ticket. But fuck, man, it's a test. How much pleasure and bliss can you actually handle and still stay centered and not get pulled out of your center when you are in the midst of absolute ecstasy? Can you remain the witness? Can you remain in that masculine frame? Because there are many, many levels of self-knowledge. But I intend to go all the way to the top. And to do that, I have to go all the way to the bottom. So, that's today's share. I'm going to be doing much more of this kind of journalistic format, just sharing the journey. I can feel something changing. It's so subtle, but I can feel something shifting in my spirit. Can't even tell you exactly what it is. But I know this work is activating something. Something is changing. Something's going on inside me. So if you're on this path of retention and you've got to the point where you've built up a sizable streak, you've experienced the benefits, you've gone long enough now to see that incrementally, yes, the benefits do get better over time, but so does the work, the inner reflection that has to take place. So does the facing of one's own shadow. It gets more hectic as you go. But if you're resonating with this path of sexual alchemy, if you're feeling pulled to this, then jump in the community. I've just started it. We've got a few guys in there. We're opening this community to men and women because I want to bring both sides of the coin. I want to see both perspectives. I want to foster those conversations and those connections between men and women who are resonating with this path. It's basically just an open conversation. It's an experiment. But I'm going to be bringing deep knowledge bombs extracted from the works of Samael Aun Weor, who I happen to believe is the most prolific teacher on the topic of sexual alchemy. Everyone else I've gone to, everyone else I've read, heard from, they don't get into the nitty gritty. We got these internet Taoist teachers teaching you to release every 30 days. Man, that's bullshit. Teaching you to make the woman come, I'm not resonating with that. I deeply connect with this message of the Great Arcanum, which teaches that the orgasm is a dysregulation of the nervous system, plunging us deeper into the physical realm. We want to master the physical realm. To do that, we must master the sexual act without succumbing to the spasm. So if you want to be part of this conversation on a deeper level, if you want to find your partner, your husband or your wife, so that you can really dive into this work, that's what the community is all about, supporting you to do that. The link is below. Jump on in. Much love.